Masks, the sixth episode of Avatar, The Last Airbender, delves straight into the metaphor of the show's title. Zuko appeared to be a much happy young guy before he got his scar. He is eager to join his father, Fire Lord Ozai, for their first meeting to discuss combat tactics. Zhao receives a promotion to the rank of Admiral. Using this, he undermines Zuko's authority. Although the crew is relieved that Zuko is no longer in charge, Iroh cautions them that they are unaware of the sacrifices Zuko has made. Commander Zhao is the source of Zuko's problems, but from what we can see, the roots of the problem lie with his father Ozai and his insane sister Azula. Zhao has been given more resources by Ozai, who has also elevated him to the rank of Admiral and given him command over the whole Aang search. The fact that Zuko's team doesn't appear to care is much worse. Some people, like G, are genuinely delighted about it. Naturally, thus far, Zuko hasn't exactly been the most enjoyable boss, but so much for loyalty. Aang goes to the temple of the firebender Avatar Roku. Meanwhile, continuing from episode 5, Aang has quietly entered the Fire Nation and arrived at Avatar Roku's temple before being confronted by 3 monks.
Be close.
Okay, Nyla.
Not any one kingdom have lost their way.
Fortunately, one of the sages, Shu, comes to his aid and buys him some time to speak with Roku. The shrine's monk guards get violent toward Aang since they are no longer content. As Aang communicates with Roku via the shrine, the modest guy named Shu deters the monks. Aang is informed by Roku about the totem he took from Ko. Kyoshi and Roku are significantly distinct in personality. He has a humorous side. He does, however, get serious when Aang brings up Ko since, in reality, Roku didn't really vanquish him. Rather, he made off with something that was valuable to him, which helps to understand why Ko is now acting so vindictively. The object is a totem that symbolizes both Ko's mother and the mother of identity in general, which helps to explain Ko's entire face-swapping strategy. It doesn't really explain why, in spite of Ko causing mayhem in the forest, Roku has managed to hang onto the totem for so long. In order to get Sokka and Katara back, Aang intends to exchange it. Regretfully, Aang is apprehended by June before returning to the jungle.
Fight to get it. As far as I'm concerned. Oh, and careful. Mess me.
If I don't return soon, Anya, have someone's life in your...
You couldn't have always...
Zhao appears and snatches Aang for himself after the bounty hunter brings him to Iroh and Zuko, who had disobeyed his instructions to pick him up. Years ago, during a discussion on battle strategy, Zuko speaks uninvited. He describes as terrible a general's intention to sacrifice an entire battalion. As a punishment, Ozai commands Zuko to battle Agni Kai. An Agni Kai is a firebending custom where 2 fighters battle until only one is left burning. Katara and Sokka are saved by Aang, who also gives Ko the totem back. Aang is taken over by Zhao. Iroh advises waiting before attempting to take back the Avatar.
They can shoot the...
To take possession of his prize. He's
out for the archers, but Zhao most likely would be suicide. Entire arm, but Ozai does. And if he stay, and that's when we can...
Make it clear I spared no effort for posterity.
Please, you have to let me go.
Make sure you get it right.
They're in a...
It's not my future I'm worried about.
We were born, we have to begin our search for the Avatar. Until now, only one thing
A
done...
strange figure wearing a blue mask enters the stronghold where Aang is being held captive covertly and releases him. They battle their way to the main entrance. When the blue spirit threatens to murder Aang, Zhao lets them go because he wants the Avatar to survive.
Sound the alarm!
Run now.
Make sure the great sage has everything.
Zuko is made visible after an archer breaks through the Blue Spirit's mask with a blow. Zuko is taken to safety by Aang. While Zuko heals in a barn, Aang tries his hardest to become close to him.
Hold your fire.
Alive.
You're doing.
Open gate.
Do you have a shot?
Can't go anywhere. No. Can I?
In a flashback, Zuko discovers that instead of facing the general he insulted, he would be facing his own father. Even though Zuko has been distinctly unlikable thus far, Episode 6 provides a terrible backstory that ultimately explains why his father expelled him from the Fire Nation. Zuko once spoke out of turn during a war council, objecting to a general's proposal to sacrifice an entire military unit as part of a larger strategy. He felt that the strategy was insensitive and unworthy of the Fire Nation, but he had to take part in the customary firebender battle, Agni Kai, as retribution for making his father seem bad. When he learned that his father would be his opponent, he was taken aback. When they battle, Zuko has the opportunity to burn his father, but he chooses not to. Zuko retaliated during the combat, but to his father's anger, he pulled punches when he had the upper hand. In an attempt to stifle his empathy, Ozai burns his eye, telling Aang that compassion is a sign of weakness, a statement Zuko subsequently repeats to him. The troops of the 41st Division, who would have been sacrificed in the original military plan, are given to him as his crew while he heals, and Ozai banishes him to boost his morale. Aang approaches Zuko on his boat and inquires about the possibility that they may have been friends in a different situation. In return, Zuko launches an assault. All Aang does is shove his boat off.
Have you ever wondered how you will be fine? Which means you. Doctor says you'll recuperate quickly. But it wasn't. It was week to week to make yourself strong. That
You just have to give them a chance.
leave here immediately. You are not to set a foot within our concern with the 41st Division.
After Zuko's face gets severely burned as a kind of punishment, Zuko is then exiled from the Fire Nation by Ozai until he returns with the Avatar.
There.
Perhaps it's because we don't want.
Iroh relates the tale of Zuko's scar to their crew's lieutenant, who despises Zuko, and clarifies that they are the battalion designated for sacrifice. Only because Zuko defended them do they still exist. They all bow to Zuko as he comes back, and he is greeted like a hero. The only reason Iroh is still alive is because of Zuko's sacrifice, and he explains to Ji how he became a member of Zuko's gang. Thus, even if Zuko was unable to recover the Avatar, at least he has won his men's allegiance.